ahead and launch the car here so you can see how it goes. And there you go, guys. You're up to speed fast in this thing. It'll redline a little bit past 6,000 RPMs. It's just a fun car. This is one of the most fun cars I have reviewed in 2022, and I hope you guys enjoy my thoughts on the car. I really think for the money, this is one hell of a great buy. I really do. Hey guys, my name is Adam and welcome back to Driven Nashville. If you're new to the channel, we produce weekly enthusiast-driven car and truck content. Today, while this is not an exotic car or anything cool and specialty, this is still an amazing product. I have absolutely come to love this little hot hatch. This is a 2018 Volkswagen Golf GTI in the SE trim, or SE package. Now guys, you're probably wondering, why are you featuring this car? Well, I'm featuring this car because it's freaking awesome. This thing has a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that makes 220 horsepower and 258 foot-pounds of torque. This one's an automatic. You can get a 6-speed manual, but this one has 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds. It's like 6.26 seconds. Runs a quarter mile in the mid-14s. It's not that fast, but it's in the driving experience that this particular vehicle is just fantastic, I gotta say. So I wanted to feature it on the channel because I think that this is one of the best buys that you can get in the used car market right now. This particular vehicle is for sale for $24,900 and only has about 40,000 miles on it. So as a daily driver, you're looking at one of the best cars I think you can buy for the money. Now, some people might consider this styling to be not that great. I love it. Like, notice some of the details here that just look so cool. Notice these lights. These are LED lights. They're white lights at night, and notice how the red carries through the front of the car. Really cool, aggressive front grille, and also you can see an intercooler down there, which is really neat. And then as you come around the vehicle, you've got this red GTI logo on the side. You've got red brake calipers that also say GTI on it. Now, as you come to the back of the vehicle, you know, is the styling flashy? No, it's not. It's not flashy at all. It's understated, and I love it. You got these really cool quad tips here in the back. You got these nice looking wheels. I think the wheels aren't the best design I've ever seen, but they look good. They're two-tone, they got the polish with the black insert there. And overall, it's just an understated car, and it's in the driving experience. And notice it has 4 doors. So if you want to talk about practicality, this is such a practical vehicle. Now this particular one does not have, it's not the Autobahn package, but it does have the plaid in it. So take a look at these seats, guys. This has this really cool plaid stitching. They're nice, sporty seats. They fit me like an absolute glove. You know I'm a sucker for gauges. This has actual real, gauges, not all the full TFT. You have an 8-inch touchscreen in the middle. Love this leather steering wheel with the nice wrap. I also love the look of it. It's just a good looking steering wheel. The doors here, this lights up at night. So all of this right here lights up at night, and it gives it a really cool look at night. So you have this red and white looking interior, which is really, really cool. You also get, if you look at the top here, you get a sunroof that fully opens and works. So again, very practical car. And even on these seats, you have the ability to manually adjust it forwards and backwards, and then this actually is with a button, which is kind of nice. So that's electrical. If you come to the back here, you've got plenty of room. I gotta say, I've got my seat pretty far back because I'm 6 feet tall. You could easily get an adult back here. You can easily get 2 car seats back here. I have proven that with mine. I actually used this car with my kids just the other day. And then you get a really good back trunk here with the ability to easily lay the seats down, okay? And that gives you 51 feet of cargo space, which, I mean, let's be honest, in a car this small and this fun, to have 51 cubic feet of space with the ability to seat 4 adults in a vehicle that has 260 foot-pounds of torque, has an incredible fuel economy. This thing gets 24 miles in the city and 34 on the highway. 34 miles a gallon. I've been putting premium. You could put premium in this engine, or you could also put regular. I've actually been putting regular in this thing, and it's worked absolutely fine. It's had absolutely no issues. Now here's the engine, 2-liter turbocharged engine. And the cool part about these vehicles, guys, is you can go ahead and boost them up. You can go ahead and put another 5 or 10 foot-pounds of boost in these things. You can put a little bit of an exhaust on them. You can change out the intake. And you could easily push another 50, 70, 100 horsepower out of these engines and this transmission and have a really, really fun car at that point. That'll go 0 to 60 in probably the high 4s. And it is front wheel drive. It does have a front diff as well, so it really does put the power down. And I gotta say, it's just such a fun car. I'm gonna take this on a little drive for you. If you're interested in the vehicle, the link's in the description. This will probably last just a couple more days. These are very hot and popular cars. This was a pretty affordable car to begin with. You're talking about a mid $30,000 price point. Being that it's got 40,000 miles and it's still 24.9 tells you that this vehicle is gonna hold its value pretty well. If you buy this for 24 grand, you're probably able to put 15, 20, 30,000 miles on it and still sell it for somewhere in the low 20s, which again, that's almost a drive for free car. So hope you guys enjoy the content. As always, subscribe if you like it. Big shout out to our title sponsor, Automotive Touch-Up. Again, I don't know if this vehicle will get any views. I know this is not one of the cooler, exotics or enthusiast cars, but I just think this thing's awesome. I love it. And if you're looking for a really good, second car, or you're looking for a really good car for maybe a child, somebody like your daughter or your son, I think this thing checks a lot of boxes. Super practical, great fuel economy, fun to drive. So let's take it on a little point of view drive, because I got to head to Clarksville here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, guys, let's take this Golf GTI for a drive. It is push start. I got my key in my pocket. Absolutely love that. It also has standard heated seats. So even though this isn't the Autobahn package with the leather seats, you still get a really nice looking interior. I love the plaid. I love the way the seats fit me. I just love this car as far as the driving experience. It just feels so dialed in. You know exactly where the front wheels are at all time. The steering has a nice weight to it. Transmission shifts really, really good and really fast and smooth. And yeah, I think overall it rocks. You can hear that engine too. Sounds pretty good. It's not the worst sounding vehicle. Guys, I just don't think you're going to be disappointed in the driving experience of this car. In fact, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised at how darn fun it is. I mean, if you really give it the gas and spool that turbocharger up, you can really get this thing moving. It may only sound like it has a couple hundred horsepower, 220, but darn it, the torque and that low-end grunt really makes this thing punch well above its weight class. And that's half throttle right there. It pulls really good. And even in this very, let's just be honest, pretty poor conditions, it's fun and it's fast. This snowed recently here in Clarksville. It's a little wet out, but because it's front wheel drive, it just hooks. Shifts are great. Honestly, I got no qualms with the driving experience. This is one of the most fun vehicles I've reviewed in 2022. Just feels so light. It only has about, well, they say between 3,000 and 3,140 pounds of weight. So this is a very light car. And that's why, because it has, 258 foot-pounds of torque. That's why it's so fun. I mean, it just pulls. And it's got such a great power plant. I love 2-cylinder engines. I love that they're really small and light. And so when you put that much torque in them, they just move and they respond so well. Some of these bigger engines, you really got to run them out before they make any real power. This thing, it's, as soon as you hit that gas pedal, it's so responsive because it's such a small amount of, it's only 2 cylinders, right? It's not a lot of cylinders to push fuel through. So it's just really, really torquey and spools up really fast. And man, I tell you what, with some bolt-ons, this thing would just absolutely be a monster. I think you'd have such a good time driving this thing and really going for it, and having a car that, beats a lot of your friends and is so underwhelming or unassuming. Kind of like a really, really good sleeper. I really believe that. I just don't think there's that many vehicles that, frankly, are going to have this level of performance in such a daily driver and practical, package. I'm just going to shut up for a minute. I'm doing about 80 miles an hour in cruise control just so you can hear what the vehicle sounds like at speed. Let's not roll over to that other lane. So you hear a little bit of engine noise, a little bit of wind noise. This is definitely not S-Class quiet, but at the end of the day, very nice to drive on the highway. The suspension is very comfortable. The Distronic Cruise works great. Overall, I think this vehicle is a fantastic candidate for a traveling sales rep or for somebody who maybe has to drive back and forth to college. Really, I don't think you're going to get a vehicle that's this fun and practical, but also gets 25.8 miles a gallon. That's pretty incredible. The one negative of buying EVs today is you do have to factor in charging stops and everything else. This car, you stop at the gas station, 5 minutes later you fill up 10 gallons, 12 gallons, right? You don't even have to use premium gas. Get on your merry way, and you've got a nice solid range with this gas tank. You can do a good 350, 400 miles even if you're babying it on the highway. And, you really just can't beat that. So overall, I give it very high marks on the highway. Well, guys, I appreciate you watching. I hope you enjoyed our point of view drive on the 2018 Golf GTI SE. I love this car. I really do. This is one of those cars that I got in and was just like, I didn't really want to drive. It doesn't look that cool necessarily on a first impression, but you actually just get in it, shift the gears, feel that dual clutch, right? Just get in there and enjoy the car. Then you take it to the gas station, you realize you put 10 gallons in it and it almost fills up the entire tank, right? And then you get 25, 26 miles on average per gallon. And by the way, that's smoking the car. That's like actually enjoying it, running it out a little bit here or there, right? That's a hell of a lot of fun. Just drives so fun, so nimble, like I showed you in the point of view drive. It's not loud, it's not super fast, but I tell you what, if I was a as a car guy, right, I would take this thing. It's about to be out of warranty anyway, and I'd go ahead and I'd boost it up. I'd put a tune on it, I'd put a bolt on it, intake and exhaust, and this thing, I bet you could easily make another 100 horsepower out of that engine, and then it's really fast, right? Then you can go to 60 in like 4 seconds, and mid to high 4s. And then, actually have some real fun, right? But even stock, such a good buy, $24,000. Wow, that's a lot of car for the money, a lot of practicality. It's good looking. I think it's going to age really well. Just it's a classic timeless hatchback design. Kind of set the hatchback market years ago with the Golf, right? And a lot of other manufacturers have, in some ways caught up. You can get a Type R, but they're more expensive if you can even get one at MSRP, right? So in the end of the day, I just think it's a heck of a buy, and I don't want to make this video too long. Just wanted to share this one with you. If you're interested in the vehicle, it's probably going to be sold in the next couple of weeks, but there will be a link in the description here if it's not. And if you guys are interested in one of these in the future, just message me. I appreciate you watching. I hope you enjoyed the content as always. This is it for me. Last shot is a drone flyaway, and we will talk to you in 2023. Talk to you guys later.